Hey everybody, welcome to ThaxCast. As always, my name's Terrell. I've got something new for you this time. I know it's been a little bit since I've posted a good video. Between a little bit of a anxiety, depression thing with COVID and all this stuff going on, it's just been hard to, one, get motivation, but two, finally decide on what I wanted to do. And so something I've wanted to do for a long time is play Dungeons and Dragons, but I've never really had friends that played. So I reached out to a couple of various places and found some people that were interested in playing. So we're going to be playing some D&D, and I'm super excited. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. Most of these people I've never met before. Most of them have not met each other. Most of us haven't played D&D before. So we're learning. We're learning each other. We're learning the game. So there's going to be times when it's a little quiet. We ask questions. We don't know what's going on. But that's part of the learning process, and I was going to cut some of that out, but I wanted it to be a little bit more raw and a little bit more real. The times that I do make cuts, because you'll see cuts in there, the times that I make cuts are when there's extended silences and things where it's not affecting the gameplay or the story, it's just there was a little bit too much of a lingering silence, so sometimes I'm going to cut that out. I also make some audio cuts to account for background noise if a kid yells, because hey, we're doing this from home remotely during the day, and hey, some of us have kids and sometimes they make noise. So sometimes you'll hear that coming through in the audio, sometimes it's cut out. It sort of depends on what channel the audio came in on and who was talking and whatnot. So just so you know, when you do see cuts, when you're not missing anything story-wise, you're not missing anything really learning-wise, it's just silences or cutting out some kids yelling or something along those lines. So I'm super excited to premiere this. What we're going to be doing for this first season is the first story from the Tales of the Yawning Portal called the Sunless Citadel. And from here, I'm going to let our DM Chris take over and let you know what's going on.
Back in olden times, over 1,000 years ago, there was a strong dragon cult. Under a name you do not remember, but it existed, and there was this very powerful citadel that took place, and it was basically the center of this cult. Many gods took disdain to the citadel, and as if an earthquake had erupted and swallowed the citadel whole. Recently, you have heard of the city of Oakhurst, which is the closest normal settlement to the Sunless Citadel, has had rumors of a recent party going to the Sunless Citadel and getting lost and not being able to return. And there is a mysterious goblin tribe that has nested in the ruins that is stealing special apple tree stems. What makes them special is these fruits are they have magical properties, basically to say. So these apple fruits are said to be magical fruit that can heal and heal the weak and tend to the sick. And so you've all been curious about the recent hearings, so you then formed a party to explore Oakhurst, get some of the knowledge of the town, and then go to the Citadel to solve the mystery and hopefully rescue the party. I guess I could take this opportunity to... You guys can introduce your character and then whatever information you would want the other party members to know.
I am Thax Thunder Ruler Thunukanathi. For those that don't know, Goliaths have a birth name, which is my Thax, and a clan name, Thunukanathi. And Thunder Ruler comes from great deeds, that a name that your clan chief gives you from great deeds. And I can go into that later, but that's how my name was formed. I am a paladin, and I definitely want to do what's right by the law.
I'm Tiwuno. I am an Aarakocra Ranger. I don't know my last name. I never met my family. All I know is that I woke up in this strange world, and I feel like I have a destiny to fulfill. So I am trying to find my way in this world and find my purpose and maybe find my family along the way.
Oh, my name is Tempest. I am Genasi Druid, Water Genasi Druid. I left my home a long time ago. Don't really want to talk about my something I try to keep private. Don't have a whole lot of positive outlook. I see the worst in people, but I do what I can.
Sorry, you were cutting out. It was kind of hard to hear what you were saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, my name is Tempest. I'm a Water Genasi Druid. I left my clan not necessarily voluntarily, but I'm just trying to make up for things I've done in the past. I just want to make things right by people, take care of the innocents. But I don't necessarily trust people or see the best in people.
I guess I'll go next. Mine is Larissa Umbra. She's a tiefling rogue. Doesn't really know much of her past or her legacy name, so she just kind of picked Umbra as a name for the shadows in which she deals in, basically only really out for herself. She has got something that she knows was taken from her and is hell-bent on getting it back.
I guess that leaves me then.
Yeah.
My character name is Seren. I don't know how to pronounce the surname. Galan Nodel means moon whisper, and wood elf fighter. And I don't have a whole lot of other backstory yet. That's like stuff that I always struggle with these things, trying to come up with the backstories.
One thing you note about the rescue mission is you met up not too far away from Oakhurst, a small trading post, or basically like a trading family. And in part of this family group, they are a merchant-based family, and they are willing to offer to help find 2 of the members of the 4-member parties. So each of them were wearing gold signet rings, and so if you can bring back one of the rings, it'll be 125 gold pieces per character. If you bring back 2, it'd be 250. If you can bring back any of the characters alive, then it is worth double of the 250 as well.
Awesome.
The quotes are of good mind and good body. Along your way to Oakhurst, making the original distance, you are encountered by 3 kobolds. Let me grab those guys.
Do you have my what do you call it? My character icon or whatever?
Yeah. You can put it in yourself.
Where do I do that?
So if you click on your character sheet, up there's an edit button.
Oh, on the character sheet. Okay.
Yep.
How do I get it on the thingy?
You have to just drag it. So you grab the 3 little. It'll have the 3 little lines over your name. You'll just drag it out there.
Blow. There we go.
I got it. So just
Oh.
over his name in general. That'll work. So then arrange your party how you would normally. So how you would think your party would stand. Who do you on the front versus the back? So like a walking order, basically. I can see already people moving themselves back accordingly.
What are these circles? The red, green, and blue?
So those are representation of, if you click on your token, you can change those. So that could be your life bar, your armor class, that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Can everyone? So everyone sees the 3 enemies in front of them. Do you see a
Mhm.
light bar above them? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Good.
No.
Only I can see that. That's perfect. That's how I wanted it. I wanted to make sure that was a big deal. Can everyone see the turn order in their screen? Maybe not yet.
No.
Okay, cool. So I see one character's hiding way far back from the others. That's fair. I don't mind that either.
I can move up. I was just hanging out in the back because I'm scared.
No, that's fine. That's just fine. So these 3 kobolds, when they look at you, they immediately get slings ready and they look like they're ready to attack. So I'll have everyone roll initiative accordingly. And so basically, if you just press your initiative button, it should. Don't pop it out of chat. I don't want you to do that. Yeah.
Oh, 8, and then that would be +2 proficiency, correct?
Proficiency is not added to initiative, and instead it's just your dexterity modifier.
Oh, Dex. Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
So that would put me at a 9.
I gotta add everyone, it looks like. There is a way to just have people press initiative and it'll put themselves in, and so we will see if we can do that.
How do I do that?
So if you just press the initiative button, it should.
What's that? Like, where is it?
And on your character sheet, it is initiative 3. So you just press the scroll over the initiative, which is between armor class and speed.
Oh, there. So I just click that.
Yeah, you just when it lights up, the cursor lights up red, you'll press it, and then it'll roll your initiative. Perfect. All right, that's exactly how you wanted to do it. So that it gave you, you'll move to the top because you rolled a perfect on it. All right.
Nat 20.
Mine didn't add to the turn order.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm not 100% sure what makes it do or don't. I'm trying to figure that out.
You have to have your icon actually selected. If you don't select it, then it doesn't know which token you're trying to assign the turn order to.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and select your token, then roll initiative, if it lets you do that. If not, I can just add you in accordingly.
Oops.
It
Nope.
didn't do it. That's okay. I will take that. So, what is your character's name?
Larissa?
Gotcha. That's right. And then we just need, I believe Eric is the
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm
No
trying
problem.
to. So, I'm still trying to figure out how to roll initiative.
So again, I'm not 100% sure if the phone will let you do that at all or not. We'll find out here. So
Can I roll manual dice instead?
yeah, absolutely. Just
That's what
as
I'm
long as you have
doing.
your character sheet. Yeah.
Was it 1d20 or
Yeah,
It's a
D20
D20, yep.
plus your Dex modifier.
plus dex? Okay. Oh, well, that came up as a 19.
Cool.
Plus 2. Oh, there's that saving thing. Hold on. Oh,
21.
yeah, plus 2. So,
And what's your character's name?
Tempest.
Rules of combat. You have, at least at level 1 specifically, you have an attack action and a move action. So you can do them in either order. So you can run up, then attack something, and you can move your entire move speed.
And
So
the blocks are 5 feet?
yes, the blocks are 5 feet.
Okay.
There is a, if you go down on the icons over on the left side, there is a ruler, and so you can press it, and then you can kind of get a sense of how far things are away.
Cool.
Yep. And so you can move your movement speed, so some people might be 30, some people might be 25, some people might be 35, according to racial traits, as well as other things that your character might have. With that, you can then attack. And so you'll be able to attack with your weapon, and so you'll make an attack roll. And that is using your weapon, it'll be a d20, be with your proficiency, and then depending on the weapon, it'll be strength, dex, or if it's a spell attack, it'll be possibly charisma, intelligence, or charisma, intelligence, or wisdom. Yeah. If you decide you want to move farther, you can forfeit your attack action to double move, meaning that you can move twice your movement speed, and you will not be allowed to attack on your turn.
Cool.
That is totally something you can do. Speaking is a free action, so it means that you can do it at any point in time, and it's not that big of a deal. You also have something called a bonus action. So a bonus action is an extra ability you might have, and it'll state that you use it as a bonus action. So one bonus action that a druid might come in contact with over time is something called Healing Word, meaning that he'll be able to move, attack, and then cast Healing Word as a bonus action. And then Healing Word just heals someone, basically. Those, I think, 1d4 plus something to heals. Perfect. And that's if you have sneak attack as well. Because it might not always happen. So we'll go with the initiative turn order, and we'll go for there. And just ask questions if you have any from that point on.
Sweet.
I guess the only other thing to note is that you have, with your action, you have a couple different actions you can make. You can attack, you can do something called disengage, and you can do something called dodge. So when you disengage, it means you are disengaging from combat. So if you are next to someone, you are disengaging with them, meaning that you are backing away with your weapon, but still in a defensive stance, and then you're moving your movement speed accordingly. So if you do not use the disengage action and you move away from enemies, they have something called an opportunity attack. So an opportunity attack means that if you run away without disengaging, they can hit you while you're trying to run away because you've let your guard down, essentially.
Gotcha.
And so disengaging can be important if you want to just try to get away. I know a rogue at level 2 or 3, you get the disengage option as a bonus action, which allows you to basically, like, you can disengage, move, and hit someone else without ever having to take opportunity attacks, which is handy. There's also something called the dodge action. What that does is, while you are moving and you use the dodge action, anytime and point you're moving, if someone gets an opportunity attack or if someone is trying to attack you on their turn later, they have disadvantage until your next turn. Disadvantage means that they will roll twice and they will have to take the lower of the two.
Okay.
When you are attacking, your goal is to hit their armor class level. I'm not going to tell you what a Kobold's armor class is, but you'll probably figure it out. You just have to hit the number. You don't have to get above it. So if it was 2, then you would need to get a 2 or higher with all of your additive bonuses when you roll a d20.
Cool.
Any questions on that?
I think I'm good.
Okay, perfect. So we'll start with the initiative turn order. So let me roll the enemies, and then we'll go from there.
I'll go ahead and put that on the screen so it shows up for turn order.
I can move it in a better spot too, if that helps. I don't know if you can move it as well.
I can move the turn order thing on my screen
Okay.
at least.
Chono, what's your dexterity modifier?
Are you asking me?
Yep.
Let me look at that. I didn't even have it open.
That's okay.
+5.
Your dexterity modifier is +5?
Yep.
Okay. That's
Holy
just fine.
shit.
So, if there is a tie in the numbers, so the Cobalt, they got a 14, he has a 14. The winner of whoever has, or the tie, winner of the tie has the highest dex modifier. The Cobalts have less than a 5, that I can say. So they will go after.
I'd be really surprised if they had that high of a dex modifier.
I mean, so because I've ran campaigns up to like level 15, I've dealt with like challenge 26 creatures before, and so those had like, oh, it just has a wisdom modifier of +15, it's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So Theron, you were the first to go.
So if I run towards the enemy, I just move the icon thingy.
Yep. And you can
Okay.
move up to 35 feet. Or you can double move and move 70 if you so choose to do so.
Mm. And so, if I move, then am I able to attack immediately, or?
Depending on which one you're hitting, yes.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to move forward. Let's see. Let's go straight to the enemy.
Perfect.
Then, so it is possible to try attack the thingy?
Yes. You move 35 feet, so now you can attack.
Okay, so how do I do that?
So first you'll determine which you're attacking with. As you might remember, you have 2 hand axes, a glaive, and a greatsword.
I'll use the greatsword.
So you'll just click the greatsword, and then it should attack for you. It'll roll the die at least. Cool. You got a 17. That will hit. So now you will then click the greatsword in the chat, and that'll do the damage. 6. Awesome. So you run up to the first kobold you see that he's spinning up his sling, and then you slice down his chest, killing him instantly.
Nice.
Next will be Tempest.
Let's see. And I don't even know what weapons I have.
Just go according to your character sheet as such.
I don't have that written down.
Okay.
Let's see.
If you have it in paper, that's fine too.
Yeah, I was like, all my character sheet stuff is on paper, so
Just go according to that.
I don't think I can make it up to them. I'm just going to reposition myself here. Let's see
If it'll let you.
if it'll let me here. See if it'll let me move. Will that be suitable movement?
30 feet. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. And then I don't even have any spells, do I?
You have cantrips.
I have Shape Water, which is not very much for attacking.
Okay.
Can I just defend?
You can do
Or
something
can-
called prepare an action.
Okay.
So, preparing an action is something where you state something happens. On Theron's next turn, she could say, I'm going to prepare an action to say, if a kobold comes up to me, I will hit it with my greatsword. And so if a kobold were to walk up to her, she'd get her attack immediately. Because it then met the conditions that she set. Be careful on the wording of those. I will follow them as such. Because there is something called multi-attack. And so as you go later down the line, some people get multi-attack. And so if you don't state you're going to make multiple attacks, I will not give you multiple attacks. As it did not meet the conditions you set.
Okay. Then I would like to attack anything that comes near me next turn.
Next will be 2-0.
I'm going to attack the kobold in the rear with my longbow.
That hits, and you do 4 damage. Alright, so you hit it right in the shoulder. Not enough to kill it, but you've definitely bugged the crap out of it.
Alrighty.
The kobolds are going to go. They are going to... Go ahead.
Really quick question. Some DMs make rangers keep track of ammunition. What's your stance on that?
Good question. I think for this purpose, I will not. Just as the first campaign and people are kind of getting used to D&D, I don't think that it's super necessary to have people keep track of that kind of stuff right now.
Sounds good.
I will make the assumption that as long as you don't roll a 1 and you don't break your arrows, you will recover them every time.
All right.
Kobold's turn. So the kobolds are going to flank Theron. So this is a flanking action. So what this means is that they have advantage. So flanking can mean this, or this. Basically, it just means that they are in a square that is pretty much opposite of the other. I'm pretty lenient with that. As long as they're pretty close to opposite, I'll give you advantage. So what this means is that they will roll 2d20s and they'll take the higher one, according to her. Can roll 2d20s at once. I will do such. Okay. So they got a 17. Is that higher or matching your armor class?
Oh. Do I have it somewhere written down?
It is. Armor class is your. It's right next to your initiative.
Yeah, so it was 17, right?
Yep, that's what I got.
Okay, so it's higher than mine.
Perfect. That means it does damage. Yay, go me. Alright, so that does. Wow, 3 piercing damage. So you can go ahead and lower your health 3. And then the one behind you is also going to attack you.
Mm-hmm.
And that got an 18, so that also hits.
Yep.
That one will also hit you. And that does an additional 3 piercing damage. The least it could do. Alright. Next is Thax.
Okay, now which one had taken the arrow to the shoulder?
The one on the top.
One on the top. Okay. Given how squishy the other one was, let's see.
Squish.
I am on the wrong window. Here we go. I'm going to run up here, and I'm going to use my battle axe and take a swing at the one that's not hurt in an effort to try to take out the stronger of the two, since I have pretty good strength.
Thanks.
And to hit, it's a d10, yeah?
You need to roll a d20, add your strength and proficiency modifier.
Oh.
And then if you do hit, you then roll the d10.
So that'd be 13.
13 does hit.
Okay, cool. And then d8 plus 4, that'd be 12 slashing damage.
Yes, that'll kill it.
Sweet.
So you basically go up right to its head and chop its head off. Next is Larissa.
I'm trying to move, and it's not dragging my icon.
You probably have the measure tool selected. Make sure you have the select move selected in the upper left-hand corner.
Perfect.
And then I am not close enough to attack.
Yes.
So I have Thaumaturgy. Can I distract it?
It's not quite an illusion, it's just thaumaturgy, correct?
Correct.
I don't believe that will work. I mean, you could try, definitely. Not going to prevent you from trying. I just don't think that'll work. Let me go to thaumaturgy really quick to make sure.
Basically, it looks like all it's good for is distraction.
Yep, it's just you're in a combat situation. That's the only thing I'm trying to figure out. Oh my god. Do you have thaumaturgy, like the description of it all placed out too?
Yes.
Can you click on it real quick? Perfect. Okay, so that was what I was talking about. Okay, so you can use thaumaturgy to not necessarily distract, but you could use it to scare it, persuade it, or you do something that, well, I guess you could do a bunch of things, but I would recommend trying to scare it, I guess would be one way you could do it. If you wanted to make your voice 3 times louder, I guess you might be able to distract it now that I think about it. It depends on what you're going to do. What is your plan with thaumaturgy, I guess?
Oh, my plan was to essentially throw the voice to think there's someone, like a voice behind them, and have them turn around and essentially put their back to the rest of the group.
Sure. Just a regular voice or a loud voice? I guess if you get to decide that.
We'll do twice as loud as normal.
Okay. That'll cause the Cobalt to freak out, and we'll have him so he has... It'll give the other person as if... Yeah, it'll distract him, for sure. So, that's just fine. Theron, it is your turn.
Guess I'm going to attack again. Try to.
I'll say because the Thermatage is word. Because the spell's been cast and it's causing a sound, it'll give you advantage as if you had someone flanking because of how it's being used here.
Okay.
So you can toggle advantage. If you look at your character sheet, there's something called toggle advantage. Then you can make your attack.
Okay.
Perfect. That hits. Eight. All right. Same thing. You turn around, or you turn slightly and slash it, and basically you cut its arm off and it dies.
Hooray!
Yes. So you're able to slay all three of the kobolds.
Very squishy.
Yeah, that's fine. You will come in contact with things that are more powerful, of course. So then, what I can say is, from this point, you've taken a long rest, so you're able to heal your wounds.
Okay.
So I forgot to jot down my original hit points, like how
Yes.
much I had. So,
It is 10 because your hit die is a D10 plus your Constitution modifier.
okay, there we go. Yay!
Perfect. All right. No, I see. Do you really only have 6 hit points?
Yep.
It's okay. In one of my other campaigns, there's a barbarian that's now level 5 that has 60 health.
Wow.
Jeez.
And then the bard, who has a D8 hit die, he has like a +1 or 2 to his Constitution, and he keeps on rolling 6s, 6, 7s, and 8s for his hit die every time he levels up. So he has a ton of health. He has like 40 health for a level 5 character, which is really good for a bard of all things. I was trying to think of anything else I wanted to discuss. Conditions. Okay. So throughout D&D, there's different conditions that you might run yourself into. They are as such: blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, grappled, incapacitated, invisible, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, restrained, stunned, and unconscious. And then there's also exhaustion. I'm not going to go through them right now per se, but as we get to them, I'll kind of explain what's happening. But I'll go over the ones that are most commonly happening. So, grappled. This is actually an action you can take to do something to someone to something. So if you want to grapple someone, it'll take your attack action, and it'll be, if you have a multi-attack, it takes one of your attacks. And grappling is basically you will strength check against them if you hit them. So are you stronger than them? In that case, you can hold them. If a creature or you are grappled, the creature speed becomes 0, and it can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. The condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. The condition also ends at the effect if the grappled creature reaches the grappler or grappling effect, such as a creature hurled away from a Thunderwave spell. Incapacitated is something that might happen to you guys. If you go to 0 hit points, you will become incapacitated. The incapacitated creature can't take actions or reactions, in which case you'll go to death saves from that point on. There's also exhausted, which exhaustion doesn't happen super often, but it can happen. So if there was a barbarian that uses rage, and they use frenzy, then they can get levels of exhaustion. So there's 6 levels of exhaustion. Level 1 is disability on ability checks. 2 is speeds halved. 3 is disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. 4 is your hit level maximum is halved. 5, your speed is reduced to 0. And if you reach 6 levels of exhaustion, you die. There's also some other ones like unconscious, which is just kind of sleeping, and prone. So prone is if you get knocked prone. So like if you roll a 1 on an attack and you're not near any friendlies, so you can't hit anyone on accident, I might have you go prone. So when you are prone, your attack rolls have disadvantage, and the attacker next to you that is attacking you has advantage. To get up from prone, you have to use half of your movement speed. So if you have 30 feet, it'll cost 15 feet to get up. As long as that makes sense.
Cool.
Does anyone have any questions thus far?
I don't have any questions, but I'm going to post something in the D&D campaign channel that was extremely useful to me in one of my other campaigns, just so everybody else has it.
Awesome. Go for it.
You're probably familiar with that cheat sheet also, being a DM.
Yep, I have something kind of similar. Nothing crazy, but yeah.
Cool.
I haven't had something as nice as that, I will say, but I do know all of those.
Keep that handy.
And so this is kind of how combat will work in the future. So at this point, the battlefield's cleared. Something you could have done, which I just didn't give you the opportunity, but in the future, after you've killed people, you can take the time to search the bodies, and in that case, I'll make you do a perception check or an investigation check, depending on which one you might have higher, or depending on the situation.
I was actually just about to ask
is
about
looking
that.
around a certain area or a certain amount of bodies, as where investigation is, I'm looking very specifically at something.
Yeah, I was actually just about to ask you if we could search their bodies.
In that case, they had slings and daggers, but I guess you can keep the daggers. They had 3 daggers on them and 3 slings. If you would like to grab those, you can.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm also good.
I'll take them just as resale value, if nothing else.
You are more than welcome to.
Okay, so you said 3 daggers?
Yep.
Okay, so then update that to nope, not 31. We want 3 of them. Cool.
And then I'm gonna move. Please don't tell me I duplicated that page. Thankfully I didn't. Okay. So welcome to the city of Oakhurst. As people might have been adding their character, this is the screen that they had. Let me read a little bit about Oakhurst. So Oakhurst is the closest settlement to the Sunless Citadel. It is a village that has about 900 residents. It has small dotted fields on the outside and a few roads leading in. It is mostly human, but with a sizable minority of halflings and scattered other races. And so basically, I'm going to have you guys, if you can see my pinging over here, I'll have you guys enter from this point over here.
Oh, okay, so on the north side.
Yep, and you can just kind of put your characters nearby. Well, in Oakhurst, it would be like any other kind of village. So this village has a couple different amenities that you might be able to look for, such as weaponry, a store for just kind of general things. There's also knowledge of a shrine here, and just kind of basic other sorts of things, an inn and stuff like that. And so you can use this opportunity to go and find information about what you're looking for, or find a place to rest for the night's being, or just kind of gain knowledge of the area itself. To give anyone that knows, does anyone know anything about the Sword Coast?
It's been like 20 years since I read the books, but
So the Sword Coast is where this campaign takes place in the Sword Coast. or at least the Sunless Citadel is in the Sword Coast area, which is fine. To give you slightly more of an idea, you are not too far away from the dwarven stronghold known as Gronthal Grim. It's not super important information, but as long as if you know about it, that helps. Especially if you want to make a history check of knowledge around the area or a wisdom check, that might come in handy as later information and stuff like that. As we go through this campaign, I highly encourage note-taking. You don't have to per se, but something you can do. I don't remember everything, and so the more notes you take, the better it makes it for everyone. And I'll make sure to note, like, this is important information, might be worthy of, keeping track of. Because these are smaller stories, it's a little bit easier for me to remember, but on some bigger campaigns, there are going to be times where I forget a name and I have to search back in the book.
Cool.
So basically, I will leave it up to you guys on how you want to explore Oakhurst. And then once you guys have gotten enough information and you feel good to settle down and get ready to start the rest of the campaign, we'll kind of end the session there.
Well, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I guess it could be a good idea to try and know something about the place.
Yeah, do you think maybe hit up a tavern?
I was gonna say, man, nice cold drink sounds good after that long fight.
That bigger. So, let's see if I can make that bigger and I'll find out. Oh, that's better. That's better. I think people can see that. It's kind of small, but it should be readable.
Yeah, it's better than it was.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so that is where the inn is located here. Oh, I see. It's got to rest on. Apparently, it has to rest on that stuff. Perfect. Sure. That'll work. That is the name of the inn, Old Boar Inn.
Okay. What do you say, fellows? Go to inn?
Sounds kind of boring to me.
This is unfortunate. I don't like puns.
I'm having trouble figuring out how to get my character on the screen with the rest of y'all, so...
Click on the character sheet tab and just drag your whole name over there. Oh, wait, you're on the phone. Never mind.
Yeah, I got you. And so then you guys can move yourselves accordingly. And then basically Oakhurst is yours to explore, so take it as such and I will respond accordingly. This is more roleplay, so you can talk with anyone and I will respond as such and give you information according to what you might ask or do as such. I might ask you to make persuasions, deceptions, intimidation checks accordingly, depending on what you ask and what information you want and how you might try to achieve it.
Can I just... So, what does this inn look like? Does it look like a seedy place? Does it look like a respectable place? I know it's a small town, so it's probably the only one.
Yeah, it is the only inn in the town. And for the most part, it looks... not, I wouldn't say respectable, but not run down either. It's a regular run-of-the-mill inn that you might find at a smaller village like this, in the sense that the boards aren't cleaned often, but it's not broken. It's decent.
Gotcha.
How are the townsfolk as we're walking through? I mean, are there a lot of people out? Is it bustling? Are people hiding from us or giving us strange looks?
You walking into town, no one gives you a strange look, but you are, getting glances of a bunch of people with weaponry wood. Of like, that's not normal, but all right. No one's looking down at you or away from you. And people are just kind of running their normal kind of style. So this is more of a farming town, so people are kind of more tending to the fields as you're coming in, and now that you're more in town, people are just tending to their housework and kind of prepping for what would now be dinner time.
Okay, so...
How busy are the streets?
I would say at the moment, now that it is dinner time, they're getting a little bit quieter. It's not kind of the hustle bustle of the day is quieting. Because there's only 900 residents, you would see like a handful of souls moving throughout the streets at a time.
Okay, let's just gonna make my way into here.
So as you walk into the bar, you are greeted by a human male. He's like, welcome to my establishment. This is the Old Boar Inn. How may I help you?
Well, we need a good meal, and we're headed out towards the Sun Citadel. What do you know about that place?
The Sunless Citadel, you say? Be careful. We've heard rumors that a recent party had been lost there. Or at least they went out and never came back.
What do you know about this party?
I guess that depends on who's asking.
While they're inside, I'm going to see if I can find the back door to this bar and come in through the back.
Go ahead and make a perception roll. You struggle and you're unable to find the back door. It's like you're brand new to a town. You're just not sure if you can find it. You're only able to spot the front entrance at the moment. Yeah. So he says, depends on who's asking.
I say just in an intimidating way, an interested party.
Go ahead and roll intimidation.
Shit. 7.
A new party to town, I see. Well, I don't want to give you false hope or anything, so I don't think that information is necessary for you. You don't look like you're all that much anyways. I would really recommend against going to the Sunless Citadel, unless you want to die.
Okay, look, if I'm being honest, I was hired to try to recover them.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
13.
Alright, I guess that kind of makes sense. Well, I guess I can give you as much information as I know. So the missing adventurers include what looked to be someone that dealt with swords. They looked very well versed in fighting, combat, and then what looked to be another wizard, for sure. Normal spellcaster, one might call. And then another man in a shining suit of armor, stood tall, proud. Looks like he always had a purpose. And then someone with a bow. I remember one of their names. And that was the man who had the shining armor. He introduced himself as Sir Brawford.
Oh, yay, another snotty noble. Or is he a knight?
He looked as if he was a knight. At least that's what you're getting from his style of explaining it.
A man of valor.
He actually comments, he kind of looks like you do right now. Pretty similar in terms of the outfit.
Good. I like to hear that.
Men of distinct taste and fine breeding, I see.
Yes.
Did you say there were 2 people with swords? Caster, knight, and a bow?
Yeah. 2 swords, a caster, and a bow.
What was their demeanor as they came through?
Looks like they were seasoned adventurers that could handle anything. We haven't heard from them in a long time.
Did
At
they
least
say
for 10
why
days.
they were going?
I didn't ask. Didn't seem like it was my information to grasp or gather.
Did you happen to see which way they went?
They went towards the ravine, over to the west. And then he kind of points out towards the western direction, which in this case is over here.
Did they have any other business in town before heading out?
They stayed the night here, and then they headed out in the morning.
What do you know of the Sunless Citadel? Other than that it's dangerous.
Sometimes goblins are known to visit the town and to sell off apples. Kind of my only real knowledge. There also is a legend that the Citadel once stood for an ancient dragon cult.
Did that cult have a particular name?
I'm not 100% sure. It's just a legend. Probably isn't true. Doesn't have any real meaning, I wouldn't think.
Sure.
Over my head as a lonely barkeep.
But you said it was the cult of a dragon?
That's the legend.
So could there be like treasure the dragon collected?
Possible. That could be why the other party went there. For lots of treasure.
Hmm.
The math
Would
checks
anybody
out.
else in town know more about the legend?
If you go to the village hall, the mayor might know some stuff. Also, you can just ask some of the locals. There's also a blacksmith, a general store, a shrine, and a jail.
I think if we're looking for a party of other adventurers, a blacksmith might be worth checking out and see if they got any gear before they took off.
Yeah, that was my
Agreed.
thought as well. They're
But
very likely to buy something.
before you go, now that I think about it, there was one other person that did ask about the Sunless Citadel. I never saw him again, but I remember he having a very large pet frog. It's about 13 years ago, I would say.
Okay, so not a recent.
Hmm.
And you said the band of the large pet frog?
Large pet frog, yes.
Is there anything else you can tell us about this man?
I remember him being a human, and I think his name started with a B. Black. Yeah, B. Black. Black. Yeah, Black. That was his name. I remember now.
Okay. Human named Bleck?
Black. Belak. Specifically to help for people writing or anything like that.
Could we perhaps have a meal?
At a price, yes. It'll be for the group of 5 of you for a nice meal, drink. 10 silver.
A fair
Or
price.
a gold piece.
After the fight with the kobolds, dinner is on me.
Nice.
That's good, 'cause I'm pretty sure I'm broke.
Never turned down a free meal.
So I'll take away 1 gold.
Can I interest you guys at an inn as well for an extra 5 silver pieces? Or at least a room for the night?
I'd say that's prudent.
Sure.
Thax, you're still buying, right?
Generosity only goes so far.
Sounds like he's not going to. Someone else will have to pony up, I guess.
I picked up dinner.
I'm fine sleeping out into the woods. I'm not one to part with my money that easily.
Yes. Stars are not too bad for anybody.
The woods it is then.
I think I could stay at the inn. Despite being a wood elf, I like sleeping on a bed.
Are you willing to pay for that?
I haven't figured out the money thingy for the cheat yet, but I think I should have a silver.
It would be 5 silver pieces.
Oh.
And it's down below. There's a bunch of like little images. That's where it's
Yeah.
carved.
Yeah, but like I couldn't figure out from the books thingy how much I have.
You have the Explorer pack or the Dungeoneers pack?
Explorer.
1 second. Then you're a fighter. Okay. There's nothing in the Explorer pack. I'd have to check real quick. Because you might start with nothing, and that's very possible here. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. You need to do your background stuff. That's what gives you money, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
So you'll have to go through that stuff as well.
Yeah, I'll get it done.
So you don't have any money at the moment, so you cannot sleep on a bed.
Damn, woods it is.
What's it?
It's okay. I can make fire in woods.
Alrighty then, I guess I couldn't interest you in a room, but good luck to you anyways. And so he takes the time, he prepares a nice hearty meal of fruits and veggies with some lamb that was gathered by the nearby harvest not too long ago. And then he also provides flowing mead as well.
All right. Good meal. If we've eaten and it was dinner time, are any of the... Is like the blacksmith still open?
It will be open until sundown, so you might have a little bit more time.
What do you say? You want to... I think I want to at least head over to the blacksmith and see what I can find out there.
Well, since I don't have any money, I think I'll be just wandering around, sightseeing.
I'll go with Thax to the blacksmith.
Points of interest, you said blacksmith, general store, temple, anything else?
Village or town center, and the jail.
Jail.
Where's the jail?
Text. Jail. There we go. Said select. This is where the jail is. Down a little bit north. Or south, sorry. If you guys can see it, just making sure.
Yep, we can see it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And where's the blacksmith?
There. Over towards the west.
Okay. Oops, I didn't mean to ping that. Sorry.
You're good.
Is that east?
Yes.
Not west.
West. Go west.
Okay, so... Going over to the blacksmith. And what's my impression of this place?
It's run by a dwarf, as you can easily see. So there's actually some quite nothing of like super value or magical, but everything's pretty well crafted there. The building itself is a little run down, but all of the steel that you see is well crafted.
Okay. Well then, just go on and head on inside.
You do also see just a ton of like farming equipment being made there as well, because that is more of his daily forging. But he also does have a little bit of armor and some weaponry on walls as well. And so he greets you. It's like, oh, visitors, welcome. My name's Rourke. How can I help you?
Greetings. Coming through on our way to find some missing explorers. Do you happen to know of the party that went to the Sunless Citadel?
Kind of takes some time to recall, and he's like, nope, not much. I do remember a couple guys with swords, but they seemed pretty well stocked, so they just walked by, didn't really pay too much attention to me. Sorry, I don't have the information you're looking for.
What was their... You said the condition of their equipment was good?
Yeah, at least from what I could tell.
Was there anything remarkable about what they carried?
The man with the shining armor had a really cool looking sword.
Is there anything you can tell us about the Sunless Citadel?
He goes and kind of explains the same thing with the legend of the dragon cult. But he does offer one more bit of information. He says, you might have noticed on your way in that a lot of the outskirts of the town are just straight up plain, very lifeless. It's due to a desolation from a long ago rampage of a dragon named Chardalon. My grandpappy used to tell me about it.
Chardalon?
Ashardalon.
That's exactly how I spelled it.
Perfect. Chardalon.
Do you happen to know what type of dragon he was? Bronze, blue, black, etc.?
That I do not know.
How long ago was this?
It's been hundreds and hundreds of years, I would say, at the least, from what my grandpappy explained.
Okay, so information not great.
When was the last time anybody saw a dragon in this area?
I've never heard of one besides that of that there.
Is there any pattern to the destruction that might indicate where it came from or where it departed to?
Not from anything now. It's just long ago damage. You'd have to definitely find an investigator, at least not beyond my knowledge.
Okay. So you sell weapons and armor. Would you happen to be interested in purchasing any?
Depending on the item, I'm willing to give up some gold.
I happen to have... Oops, wrong window. I happen to have a couple of daggers I would be willing to part with.
He kind of looks over the daggers. I can give you about a silver piece for it.
How about 2?
What makes these daggers worth more than in the eyes of a blacksmith?
They are well made. They came off of kobolds that we encountered.
Well made, but then you say that they're used. Which is it?
They were not used well, my friend.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Wrong one. Shit. 8.
8? Did you say 8?
Yeah.
Kobolds are dumb, fickle creatures, and you expect me to believe they had well-made daggers? A silver piece is best I can offer.
Okay. Take 2 daggers for 2 silvers.
No. Silver for all 3.
I'm sorry, my friend. I cannot do this.
Okay. He kind of crosses his arms, and doesn't give you any specific looks, but he's like, that's his best he can do.
Do you have any good one-handed axes that I might look at?
I have a hand axe I'm willing to part with.
Does it have any particular, I don't know, improvements?
It is a solidly made hand axe. Great for slashing kobolds or slashing wood. Up to you. 5 gold pieces.
I will keep it in mind. Anybody else have any questions or anything?
What all weapons are kind of out in plain view? What is he? I know he's focusing on mostly the farming tools, but what does he seem to craft?
He has a battle axe that he has available, hand axes as well as I put the equipment page away, which is unfortunate. Oh, I opened right up to it. Cool. As well as a morning star and a war pick. And then there's a warhammer as well. And then, of course, there's like other small stuff, so like longbows and stuff like that, but nothing of like super, like none of the longbows are shining. They're just regular standard bows.
What's a war pick?
A war pick is a, it's got like,
Think a giant claw hammer with only one claw.
yeah, it kind of looks like that.
Okay, yeah, I see. I don't think I have any other questions.
How long until dark?
Give maybe an hour or so.
Is the mayor? You think the town hall is still open, or we're gonna have to catch him in the morning?
By your estimate, you could definitely try. Your odds of success, you're not 100% sure.
We can come back in the morning. Let's go set up camp. Unless, Larissa, you want to skulk around the town. I know that's your sort of thing.
We can set up camp. We have time before the darkness hits.
Okay. Then let us be off.
Thank you for your help, blacksmith.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your information and your generous offer.
Generous offer.
So helpful and so generous.
So which way to the woods?
So it's mostly just plains. So for the most part, it's just kind of large, like foliage is about as good as you're going to get towards trees.
We're not going to inadvertently be camping on someone's land and wake up with a farmer poking us with a pitchfork.
Probably not. As long as you take a distance away.
Well, the ravine was to the west, and I see there's some open land that is apparently not farmland on the west end of town, so that's my suggestion.
Very well. Let's head to the west. And can we scout for like the best camping site? Something that's discreet and out of the way?
You can make a perception or a survival check on that, depending on who would want to do that.
I'll do a survival check.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could also do that.
You can both do one.
Wait. Where do I?
You just press the word survival if it lights up red, and that should do the roll.
That would be a
No.
15 for me.
Yeah, 15's good. You were able to find a decent spot.
Yeah, and I got 7.
That's not great. Right here is good. I'm in a little square.
Where?
It's a good spot. It's got not a huge amount of shade per se, but it's got enough foliage and easy enough to start a campfire with.
And where is that? Do you want to just move us to where that is?
Oh, all the way
Gotcha.
over there.
Did I say? Oh, I'm bad. Hold on. I'm gonna move the square. Okay. So, Citadel is towards the west. Chris just put things on the east on accident. My directions are amazing, I swear. Okay, can I grab am I allowed to grab you? Yes, I am. Right here's good. Okay. Perfect, there we go.
Okay, I've got a tinder box I can start a campfire with.
Yeah.
So let's make camp.
Yeah. As a notion to me, just in general, I am terrible with left and right, and I guess that also means east and west apparently as well.
Not a problem.
I have great navigation skills. Apparently not on a regular old map. All right. Okay, sure. So you're able to spend the night pretty uneventful, as you are close enough to the town that you assume no creatures are willing to attack you in that.
Okay.
And then, so the next morning arrives, sun nice bright and early, and you can see that the village farmers not too far off are already working and tending the field.
I don't know. You guys want to stick together or check out different areas?
I vote we stick together first.
Yeah. What other areas of town do you say might be worth checking out?
You have visited the inn and the blacksmith, so there's still the village hall, general store, shrine, and jail.
Let's go talk to the mayor first.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So the village
I'm
hall
in.
is the most center building. So that one.
Mm-hmm.
Does it just look like a normal kind of town hall?
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit more higher end than the other buildings per se, as it's better kept. But for the most part, it's not too big. It's not super small either. Looks like it has a few rooms here and there of, just regular holding books and other stuff of information throughout the city and the town.
Okay.
Upon going inside, it looks pretty regular. There's basically an assistant that notices your business, and she asks quickly of like, "What's your business here at the village hall?"
We were hoping to talk to the mayor.
I'll let him know you're here.
Thank
And so she quickly goes to a door, talks to someone, and then appears out next one. Be right with you in a couple minutes. After a
Thank
couple
you.
minutes, the mayor comes out. He's wearing some nicer clothing of what a noble would look like, and he is human. So he's got a nice blouse on and everything else like that. He introduces himself as Vernor Lang.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Vernor Lang. Vurnor. And then Lang is Leng. He does a bow and says, "Good morning, sirs." And Matt, is everyone a male here? Characterized?
Larissa, I believe, is a female.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, so good morning, sirs and madam. How can I help you?
Good morning, Mayor. We are on a mission to hopefully rescue the party of travelers that went to the Sunless Citadel recently. I was hoping to see if you might have any information regarding that party.
I really don't. All I do know, for the most part, is that I had heard about a group of adventurers that came in and they came and left and never came back.
So they just didn't really leave much of an impression on the town?
They seemed, at least from what I had heard from townspeople, to be in a rush, I guess. They didn't spend too much time.
What was your impression of them?
I really didn't get to see them. I'm just hearing from the locals. I was busy with my work.
I see. How are things in the town?
So, I guess.
Any
Can't. Go ahead.
any issues with anything? Anything needing attention?
I've noticed recently, or at least more recently in the last couple years, that there have been creatures of unknown descriptions causing havoc on the outskirts of town, more towards the wilderness. Every so often, people wander out at night, and then they are to be found dead with a needle wound. So definitely be careful. Needle wounds, yes.
Okay. Which side of town?
Creatures...
Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to ask about the creatures. You said unknown description. Has anybody seen one of these creatures more closely and still live to tell about it?
Not that I've known so far.
Which side of town is this on?
It's all around. I haven't been able to discern more attacks from one direction or the other.
Okay. Is there anybody that might have more information regarding these attacks?
I've been informed as many as I can, so I would say I would be the most knowledgeable, and I still know very little. Kitty
Sorry. I always forget when I have my mic down.
How often do these attacks take place?
Anytime people leave or stray too far from town overnight, they tend to appear dead.
Could there be a reward for dealing with the issue?
I guess if you're able to take care of that, I might be able to give a monetary value on that. You'd have to permanently eliminate the existence of whatever this creature is, or creatures.
I see. Is there a pattern to the attacks in frequency or targets?
Not that I know of. It's pretty random and sporadic.
What could you tell us about the shrine in town?
It's maintained by Dem Knackle. She's a gnome and our priestess here. For the most part, it's for advice, information, and healing.
For the most part?
I really don't delve too much with that. So that is what I know. I would assume that's most, if not all, of their activity. They might delve in other things. I just take care of the taxes and make sure the town doesn't fall apart.
Well, I feel it is our duty and privilege to seek out some answers for you. We will look into it.
Absolutely, thank you. I hope you find some results.
Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate your time.
Problem. With that, he kind of like turns around. He heads back into his office. He looks like he is busy and has work to do.
All right.
So what are you thinking? You think you want to check out the shrine?
Sure.
Do we know where the shrine is?
You will in a split second. I actually need to decide what building it's going to be.
So what do we see about the shrine? Does it look well maintained? Anything of note?
Yep. I guess I get to decide. It's a little run down. Not to say that it's nothing bad, but so it's made mostly out of stone, so it looks like it's been, for the most part, chiseled and chiseled and with pillars, and it's been put together a long time ago. And so it looks like vines have started crawling up the sides of it. And it looks peaceful as well, quiet.
Okay. So let's go in and talk to this priestess, or what was she called?
Yep. Demnackle. So a gnome comes out, and you can see that she's got a pester mortal and she's working on some herbs. And she introduces herself as Corky.
As Corky?
Hello, Corky. Yep, Corkie. Welcome to the shrine. What can I help you with? Is there something you need? Healing, you might ask for?
Thank you. We are all well. We're just travelers seeking some information. What can you tell us about this shrine? It looks very old.
Yes, it's been here for a millennia. I know not too much about it, just that it exists and that I use it accordingly as a priest.
There was a party that came through here not long ago. Possibly a couple of fighters and a wizard. Do you know anything about that party?
They came asking information about the Sunless Citadel briefly, just enough to get enough information to leave, and then they were gone.
And what did you tell them?
I just said as much as I knew, which is that it used to be for it used to be in a retreat for an ancient dragon cult, and then for some reason, as the legend once says, it was sunk into a large ravine. And I also said knowledge of certain fruits, magical property fruits that might be gathered there.
What kind of magic fruit? What does it
It's
do?
an apple specifically, and it has healing properties. It is said that these fruits heal those from any disease or other ailment.
Ah, a very handy fruit.
Yes.
Are these the ones the goblins sell in town?
Possibly. It kind of depends on the time of year. During the winter, they sell a different apple that is white and poisonous.
Good to know.
So this shrine has nothing to do with the dragon cult?
No, it does not. At least I sure hope not. Otherwise, I might have to make a new shrine.
What deity do y'all worship?
I was afraid you would ask that.
Well, do you know anything about the recent or the attacks that have been going around, the needle wounds?
Yes, I've had to take care of a couple of them. All of them always ended up dead.
So there's like poison or something in the needles then?
I have not been able to discern, just that it did enough damage to kill everyone who came in contact with them.
Is there anything else of note about the wounds?
As if they had wooden needles stuck inside of them.
Like to a specific body part, like to the neck or...
All regions.
Okay. And were there like a lot of the needles or just one or few?
Many.
Okay.
Are the needles still there when you treat them, or is it just the
Yes.
punctures?
And you said they were made of wood?
Yes.
Something that might come from a like a blow gun of sorts?
For how many there are, I wouldn't think so. Or there would have to be multiple enemies for that to make sense. Also, as for the god that they're following, Shuta, the goddess of agriculture.
Ah.
I wish the player handbook gave me more deities, but they don't. Or at least I don't offhand know where it is. Most people don't ask about that, which is just fine.
I didn't know if they'd be like, oh yeah, well we totally worship the dragon god here. And...
No, good on that one.
Okay. Have you noticed any pattern in the attacks of any similarities between the people or the locations?
Anyone and everyone has been hit. Just anywhere outside of town during the night is where they seem to attack.
Okay. Do they get attacked as individuals, or are these people sometimes in a group?
I found groups, singles, basically whatever these creatures are that are attacking are mean, ruthless, and they'll attack anything.
Okay.
As we were just
Are there-
comic book. Go ahead.
Are there any recent victims that we could maybe examine?
Not for the last 10 days. There hasn't. Everyone's been so afraid that no one's wandered out.
So
What?
they only attack the townspeople and not like any visitors?
It's been a while since a visitor's come. Well, with our trade, we haven't heard too much of visitors being hit, but it has happened in the past.
Okay.
So anyone and everyone.
Might we
How many
talk
people
to...
is-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
How many people has the village lost?
I would say over the last couple of years, I would say a couple dozen, upwards of 50. It's hard to remember the count.
A lot for such a small town.
It's been a few years, so we've been able to recover losses of new movements and stuff like that.
Has it impacted trade?
Slightly. As long as you're able to avoid the travel at night, it usually comes in pretty decent.
Okay. Might we talk to the head priestess?
I am the head priest.
Way to go, jackass.
I'm sorry, I thought I had a different name for that.
Are we still talking to Corky?
Yep.
Where is Dimnackle here?
Ah, that is my other name, Demnackle.
Ah, okay. Apologies. Dimnackle is the name I was looking for.
Ah, must have been someone that likes formalities and not just simple nicknames.
My apologies.
No problem.
Can you tell us anything of the history of the... This is a very old shrine. Is there any histories related to dragons in the area?
Not with this shrine, there isn't. At least not that I know of.
Is there anyone who could know about that sort of
Anyone
stuff?
living? Probably not.
Okay.
I've been in this shrine for decades now, and no one's known any more information. Seems like it's been lost in history.
Indeed.
Would you mind if we just kind of looked around the shrine a little bit?
Sure, absolutely. And you can roll a perception if you would like to look around.
Yes, sorry, I was grabbing my dice 1 second. I had to move and plug my phone in. And...
Would it be possible to receive a blessing? For our quest.
the blessing, at least the ones that I would cast, wouldn't last more than an hour, unfortunately.
Okay, so I rolled a 6 on perception, and then I use my skills, right?
Yep. So
Okay, so that's plus 4.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just see like I mean, it doesn't. There's nothing discernible of like no dragon pictures or anything like that. And it just looks like she has tons of different herbs and made potions that are around the area.
Wait, why would you specifically mention dragon pictures?
There just isn't any. That's the whole thing. Because that's what you guys are looking for is dragon-related things. There's no engravings of anything like that.
Just seemed a little forward there. I was like, what if I wasn't looking for dragon?
Okay.
Is there an offering plate or an offering box nearby?
There is, yes. She kind of points over to it.
And I don't know about you guys, but I don't
Larissa.
believe that Corky is Dimnackle personally. I don't know if you guys got the same feeling as I did.
Can I use divine sense to see if she's? I'm sorry.
You can also just make a wisdom or insight check to see if she's lying about that or not. Divine sense might help with that too, depending on how it's worded.
Ooh, I have good insight. I want to make an insight check for that.
Yeah, you can. So if you think anyone is lying, insight is the first initial kind of thought process.
Nat 20.
Yeah, she's telling the truth.
Okay.
That's her other name.
Okay.
Sorry, it's my suspicious nature.
No, that's just fine. Asking questions like that is a good thing. It might lead towards something, it might not. There is one other thing that I will note, and no one's done anything crazy yet, but if you do something that is in the, is smart or creative, or I think is just really cool in general, I can give you something called an inspiration die.
And let you
So
reroll one?
Yeah, it'll let you reroll anything that is a d20. So an attack roll, an ability check, that kind of stuff. A death save. And you can take whichever one's higher, of course. But it's like basically giving you advantage on something for free.
Sweet.
You just have to impress me personally, I guess is the way it goes.
Can we tell what types of remedies, potions, and herbs that she's using?
She has healing potions. They're just regular old healing potions, nothing more, nothing less.
Might we trouble you, Dimnackle, my apologies, Corky, for some healing potions? We may encounter some trouble while trying to help the town.
Absolutely. They're 50 gold pieces a bottle.
Hey.
I'm sorry, come again?
50 gold pieces a bottle. That is the standard. We go by water deep pricing here, and so that is the pricing here.
Well, thank you.
And I can offer you in this greater healing potion that's 250 gold.
I am sorry, I do not have the money for such things.
I'm gonna rob the correct collection box.
I would like you to make a stealth check.
Stealth or sleight of hand? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. They're both the same.
I mean, sleight of hand, I guess, is good too. I never expected people to just rob things like that.
You have to keep your eye on Larissa, which, for the record, I wasn't. I was otherwise engaged.
Yeah. You can honestly
I totally was keeping an eye on her. Rawr.
I was going to say, what you can do is, you can definitely DM me things if you want to do something that you don't want the rest of the party to know. That is just fine. You can also whisper through roll 22. I don't care. I will have you roll for things, of course, but yeah. Okay. I believe a priest is a challenge 3 creature. Basically, she's gonna. I'm gonna roll perception to see if she would have noticed it or not. I just need to get her stats real quick. Nope. I know I have you. Where are you? So I have. Since I've done enough D&D, I've made my own monster manual throughout Google. drive. There we are. Okay, it is here.
I was just waiting for Larissa to roll like a 1 and just be like, and the offering plate clatters to the ground.
Yeah, basically that's what would happen. I would definitely. All right. Just need her. Wow. All right. Cool. All right. She notices that you're messing with the collection box. She rolled an 18 on perception. She's, what you doing with the collection box there?
This is really good craftsmanship. You know, most people just put out a plate, and you can't really trust just a plate. You need something with a lock, something where people can't just get their grubby little hands in there and steal your coins. You know, just I would hate to see you taken advantage of like that.
Roll a deception.
Ooh.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for encouraging me on that. I'll take note of that. She appreciates your gesture.
Let's see here.
Roll to steal from plate. Collection plate again? No.
Like, you'll be rolling with disadvantage. This is what's only happening.
I think I won't.
Can I just do a general perception of the room? See if there's anything
Sure.
else that stands out? Shit. Okay. 5.
Nope. Nothing of note. or
You
anything
see,
like
there are walls.
that. I like it when people will roll a perception check and be like, I'm literally blind.
Could I check just to look, like, because you said that her potion making supplies are out. Is there any way to look and check and see if there's any type of poison or anything that's being made with that?
Yeah, sure. You can make an investigation or perception roll now.
Okay.
So funny.
I'll do a perception roll. Yeah, 12 plus 4, 16.
There's nothing of poison remarked there at all, but you do see just general herbs that would be made for healing potions.
Okay.
Seems like everything's on the up and up. Anybody else have anything they want to do here?
No, not really.
Seems like a pretty straightforward temple to me.
Okay, so in town we have the jail and the general store left.
That's correct.
I mean, my thought on it right now is that we don't really have a reason to check out the jail, even though part of me is like, oh, we probably should, but like I don't feel like we have a reason.
See, my first thought was we should go check out the jail, because if there's somebody being jailed, they may be more forthcoming with information than townsfolk are if they're trying to hide something.
Yeah, that was my thought as well. Like, people in the jail might have access to information that common folk don't.
Yeah, the criminals have their kind of ear to the ground. No more than your average shopkeeper or blacksmith. Those are my peoples.
We can always split up if.
Okay.
So people are going to go to the jail, it sounds like?
I would like to check out the jail.
I guess I could
As-
wander around.
I will keep a lookout on the outside of the jail.
Thank
You
you for your
see-
time, Corky.
Thank you. She lets you guys out.
Oh yes, thank you, Corky.
So you see a couple of guards standing outside, and then 2 scouts that are standing towards the top of it.
I'm gonna go talk to one of the guards.
Good day, sir.
Hello. We were traveling through. I was hoping to get some information about the town and what's been going on with these attacks I've heard about.
I know as much as I'm paid to know, which is shit. So he knows nothing.
Okay.
Are there any windows around the back of the jail?
There are windows, but none leading to the cells. But yeah, there's different windows around.
So I can't see any of the prisoners and talk to them through the windows.
The prisoners would be underground.
So I wander around. Should I do the perception stuff at times?
If you want to, if there's anything you're looking for discerning.
Just looking around. How do I use that?
So if you just press perception in your character sheet, it should bring it up into the chat.
Yeah, it doesn't. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong one.
So if you it's a wisdom perception. You press it, it'll highlight red if you press it, and it'll roll for you.
Also, I have to press wisdom first, or
No, just go to the skill that's labeled perception. It'll highlight red, and then you press it. That should roll.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you're able to see the rest of the town. A couple townsfolk kind of like, it's getting closer towards noon, so more people are bustling about. Nothing of note.
No
Some
one's
boring
paying.
town.
I'd like to ask the jailer how business has been. They staying full?
Actually, at the moment, we're empty. There's no one here, which is good.
Oh, that is good. You got some law-abiding citizens. I like that.
Hope it
Yeah,
stays
you
that way.
would.
We heard of a party that came through recently asking about the Sunless Citadel. Do you know anything about this party?
No. I heard about a group, but nothing more.
Okay.
Looking around the outside, is there anybody paying like extra attention to us as a group?
They noticed you have weaponry on you, so you do have eyes on you by most of the guards.
Okay, so they don't know anything about the attacks. They don't know anything about the party. Can I roll a what was it? I guess insight to see if they're telling the truth.
Yeah.
13?
So the guard that you talk to, straight up just a guard, you would assume. So you would think he's telling the truth, that he hasn't been like asked to go out and investigate anything. As for the jailer knowing about the party members, it makes sense too as well, at least under your knowledge and your wisdom roll.
Okay. So unless we go in and try to inspect the jail, I don't really know that there's much else here.
Are you thinking about renting a room?
What do you think we can?
I'm sure I could arrange for you to have a room.
Could we maybe do a persuasion check and just say, "Are you sure there's nothing else you know about what's going on?"
You can do that, yeah.
All right. Oh, I got an 8.
Yeah, that's all I know.
+3. Okay.
Is there a local, like, you know, where's the kind of the rough crowd? This is pretty too small to be a thieves guild, but something along those lines. The guys who everyone knows, they're never up to any good.
Oh, this town's a very respectable town, I'll have you know. I don't know of any of the sorts. Most of us are just farmers or small trade dealers. There isn't really a whole lot of activity that happens, to be honest with you.
Okay. Might we step inside and take a look at your fine jail?
Is there a reason for that?
I am a man of the law. I appreciate seeing the ways in which it's implemented across the world.
Sure, I guess.
Place.
So he lets you in, and it's got like most of the inside's just kind of regular like stone and wood accordingly, and under the foundations, and there's a barracks accordingly, and then a couple office rooms for some of the higher ups. As you explore underneath, you do in fact see an empty cells.
Can I inspect the cells?
Go ahead.
And which would this would be? Perception?
Perception or investigation?
It's not going to be investigation. Perception. Fuck. 3.
Yeah, they look like empty cells.
I see bars.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody getting out of these anytime soon.
Okay. So I go back upstairs to the main room, and can I just do a perception in there, see what that room looks like?
Sure.
20.
So yeah, it looks like a barracks. Accordingly, there's it looks like about enough beds for 20 people, and there's armor like stands and a bunch of boxes for people to hold their stuff next to their bedsides. It doesn't look rich with weaponry or fancy armor. It's all leather armor, and the equipment's not subpar, but nothing excellent. Used, well worn, gets the job done.
It's honestly more beds than I would expect in such a small town. But, okay. So I guess, thank you for your time. I really appreciate you letting me in.
Not a problem.
Guys, I didn't see shit.
To the general store then?
Yeah. Not a whole lot of going on in this town.
It is a very sleepy town.
I mean,
Yeah, which is... Then it's weird.
That's better than the opposite.
Yeah, but
This
it's
is
weird
true.
that... By the creature... Or creatures.
Yes, why would it...
Yeah.
You say what?
Does anybody want to look at the general store before we go?
Yeah, I
I
guess
do.
we should...
The purveyor might have information that the blacksmith wasn't able to tell.
So yeah, it's basically just there's nothing. It's a guy standing outside, or like a regular shop, and it just looks like regular odds and ends. So there's some food, some supplies, and he kind of stands out and notices you guys, and he's like, "Hello, interested in buying something?" Kind of shows his wares accordingly.
I could do a perception just in case that if there's anything
Yeah.
interesting.
You know, yeah, it looks like a regular general store to you.
Hmm.
What's the layout? Is it just one big room?
Yeah, so basically it's he's kind of outside like a trade window, and then he's got like shelves of stuff that he's lined up of grain, bread, basically couple bits of fruit here and there from harvest and stuff like that, and then smoked and dried meats, as well as other kinds of odds and ends. So some trying to think of like the best way to explain it. Rope, other kind of stuff like that.
Does he have any of those fancy healing apples?
He does not.
Does he have any of the poison ones?
He does not.
Hello, good sir. We are here trying to find out what is happening to the town. Do you have any information as to the attacks that have been happening?
Just that It's best to stay in town and don't go out at night. It's about as much as I know.
Is there like anything in the history of town that could be like the reason why it gets targeted, or is there any news about like any nearby towns having similar issues?
I would say this is the most recent these attacks have started in the last decade, maybe 5 years or so. But beyond that, we haven't had a trouble before. So it's a new occurrence. That's for sure.
Well, do you know if there's like similar attacks in any other towns?
Not that I've heard of. It's just this area, it sounds like.
I also was hoping you might have some information about some travelers that came through a while back looking for the Sunless Citadel.
There was a party not too long ago that ordered a few bits of ration, a few days worth of rations, and then headed off. And he remarks of 2 fighters, or at least like dude with swords, dude with cool armor, what looked to be a spellcaster, and another with a longbow.
Did they say anything about what they were doing or where they were going?
They just said that they were going to the Sunless Citadel. Didn't say much besides looking for adventure, I guess. At least I didn't really ask. They were giving me money, and that's all I needed.
Fair enough. I want to do a insight roll to see if it seems like he's holding anything back.
Yeah, sure.
17?
Yeah, he seems like he's telling the truth.
Okay. Did they get anything other than rations?
They also got some rope, about 100 feet of rope.
Okay. And I mean, I think that's all I've got.
No, I'm sure you have more questions. Keep him talking.
What can you tell us of the surrounding of the town? Is there a place we might begin to check for bandits or creatures that might be causing these attacks?
Sunless Citadel is all I could think about. It's probably your best bet is to go there.
Oh, so these attacks could be related to the Citadel stuff.
You're gonna have to roll a stealth roll on that. Say that again.
So, like, could these attacks be related to the Citadel? I don't know.
It's very possible. I guess I wouldn't really know. I just hear rumors and stuff like that. I don't have any knowledge.
I'm gonna go to jail.
As you're going to like make your notion towards the like getting past the stall, he's like, "Hold up! Is there something you want? I can definitely sell it to you." Keeps his eye focused on the rogue.
Actually,
I would just think what all you had. You know, jerky, is it beef, is it pork, is it goblin?
Goblin jerky sounds like a terrible time. We have a mix. I can sell you a good couple of days worth for a gold piece if you were interested. It's the finest jerky in the land.
I've seen this probably the only.
Say it again.
This is probably the only jerky in the land.
That's why it is the best.
how is everybody on rations? Like, does everybody have some?
I have a day.
I have 1 day.
I should have 10 days worth.
I have 10 days as well.
Yeah, the Explorers Pack should have 10 days.
I have 10.
As a note, I'm probably not going to keep track of food unless it was really important or imperative to the story.
Okay. Sounds good.
Not to say that this jerky isn't fantastic in some way, and that he really wants to sell you some.
I am not hungry right now, but I will keep it in mind for later, before we depart town. Thank you, shopkeeper, for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, and lead. Kind of stands there and then gets back to like moving some stuff and. Oh, I forgot the word. It's okay. Facing. There we go. He's facing some of his items.
Okay, so, I mean, I think we've sort of hit the town for most of the information we can get. They're not the most informative people.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we should probably either as a group or in splitting in two groups sort of patrol the outside of town at night.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all think, as a group, or do you want to split up somehow?
I guess as a group should work out just fine.
I don't want to get stabbed by wood needles, so I say a group. Group sounds good.
Yeah, the town's not that big. If we're on the wrong side of town, it wouldn't be that long to traverse to the other side.
Oh, can any of us see in the dark even a little bit? Like, as an elf, I think I should have some sort of dark vision, but I'm not sure.
I do not.
Tiefling should have dark vision. Well, our elves have dark vision. The water genasi, I have no idea. I don't know about the Goliath either.
The Goliath does not.
Okay.
I'm about 99% sure I don't either.
So you probably have to have a torch with you, of which that does 15 feet of bright light and 15 feet of dim light in a radius.
I do have
Or
10
you can cast
torches. I do have a torch, so I can spark one of those up.
I think I should have one as well.
So is there anything else we want to do before we just sort of rest for the night? Like, not for the night, but till night.
I don't think there's a whole lot of to do, at least in the town. Like, maybe just preparations for trying to not to get needled.
Seems to me we've covered up. Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
What's that? What was that? I didn't hear it.
Someone mentioned another beer.
Oh.
If you're willing to pay it, the meat will flow.
My money is precious. Do not think my kindness is charity.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize lawful good meant lawful stingy as well.
Good, it's good. Well, if that's the case, if that's your guys' plan, then I think that's a good time to call the session it for now. Just because then you'll start getting into, you're making your way toward the actual story. We're getting there, slowly but surely. And that's fine.
That's a good first session.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging around. If you've made it to this point, you are a trooper and you are just amazing. I appreciate you getting this far. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell so you can get notifications when new videos come out. Like the video if you like it, or give it a thumbs down if you don't like it. Let us know your comments below, and just realize, like I said at the beginning of the video, we're still learning the game. We're still learning each other. We're going to have a couple of times when somebody is not here for a session, or if somebody has to leave and we have another person take over that spot, like it's going to happen in episode 2. I already know that part because, hey, we've already shot it. So just be aware that things are going to be a little bit fluid. There's not always going to be 100% continuity in the characters and things like that, but it's life. Things get in the way, schedules don't always line up, that kind of thing happens. And thank you so much for coming by. Be good to each other and have a good one.